Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is February 3rd, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the state of California, Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. Look at this infrared satellite imagery as this storm system is now beginning its rapid cyclogenesis phase. Powerful low pressure center. We got strong winds, we got big waves, we got huge mountain snows, and flooding rainfalls are incoming here. We're going to dive into all these details here as we go through the video this morning. Taking a look at Northern California winter storm warning, 12 to 18 inches above 3,500 feet, 2 to 4, all the way down to 2,000 feet. Wanted to point that out. There's going to be some lower snow levels out there, and this is from Sunday morning all the way on in through Monday morning. Significant heavy snow, of course, across the Sierra Nevada. You can see the coastal range 2 to 5 inches below 3,500 feet, and I mentioned those lower snow levels there. And you got 1 to 3 feet above 3,500 feet, 2 to 4 feet above 4,500 feet. Just monster snow incoming here, and 5 to 6 feet at the peak levels. And southerly wind gusts as high as 65. They upgraded that some as well. And again, these snow levels are going to start pretty darn right low, and the heaviest snowfall is likely to occur Sunday. However, this warning does go all the way through Tuesday, February 6th. And it's going to be downright impossible to be traveling across some of the pass areas at times. There can be chain controls and road closures, and there's going to be just some very strong winds as well. So heads up for that. I mean, I would try to put off your travel until Wednesday if you can avoid it. Here's the precipitation forecast. We've been upticking these amounts as you go north. Weaverville and Redding, you can see some big amounts. Look at Red Bluff 2 to 3, Sacramento 2 to 3. The Bay Area is going to get hammered again here as well, and some of the higher terrain is going to even see some higher amounts here. And of course, in the urban and small stream flooding is going to be ongoing. We're also going to be dealing with a thunderstorm threat here over the next few days as well. More on that here as we go through the video. Wind gust forecast. We did upgrade this on the National Weather Service versus last night. I mentioned that in my live stream. We're probably going to be even bringing stronger winds than what is showing here right now. And I wouldn't be shocked to see some high wind warnings go out here for some portions of maybe Sacramento also, because the high resolution models are coming in pretty hot, and I'll show you that as we go later in the video. Timing of the impacts, again, tonight, Saturday evening through Monday morning for a lot of the Bay Area. The persistent rain, flooding on roadways. We're going to have some landslides and, of course, rocks over the roadways, and you guys know the drill, and some really intense, locally higher amounts across some of the higher terrain. And some of the gusts in the coastal areas will probably be exceeding 70 miles per hour, and especially on hilltops across the Bay Area that in excess of 900 feet. Just some really vigorous winds are incoming here, and you can see the high wind warnings are in the orange here. And again, I wouldn't be surprised to see some of this extended outwards a little bit here, and it does not include the Bay Area, San Francisco proper as of right now, but just some monster gusts are incoming. 10 p.m. Saturday to 10 p.m. Sunday is the timing of that. Here's the rain timing and intensity looking down towards Southern California. You can see Santa Barbara anytime in Sunday afternoon, eventually moving down across the Los Angeles metro, and eventually move down towards San Diego. So some big rainfall amounts, generally 3 to 6 inches expected. And of course, across the higher terrain, look at that, half a foot to a foot, just some ridiculous amounts coming in a relatively short amount of time also. And the snow levels are going to be above 6,000 feet, but some big snow amounts could be had. Looking at the storm totals here on the National Weather Service, San Diego, and they do kind of highlight the huge amounts that are going to be falling across some of the transverse ranges here. And you can see San Diego, 2.5 inches, and bigger amounts across the Los Angeles metro. Definitely some flooding concerns to be had. Projected precipitation through Monday. Just kind of want to show some of the valley areas here, lesser amounts. You can see Bakersfield, though, still 2 to 3 inches expected. And of course, this is going to be falling as snow across the Sierra Nevada, but some of the coastal areas and the transverse ranges, like I mentioned, huge amounts incoming. And you can see some of the ridiculous amounts here in the projected snowfall. I mean, 5 to 6 feet. Just wild amounts across the higher terrain there. And this kind of shows that. You can see total snow 1 to 2 feet above 6,000 feet and 4 to 6 above 5,000 feet in the Sierra Nevada. So this was for Kern County, the first one I said there, total snow 1 to 2 feet. And this is valid through 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. So also Reno is going to be getting in the action as well. If you need to, pause this and take a look here, or go to the National Weather Service Reno and get all this information that you need. So we got winter storm warnings that do include Reno, Nevada here, and we're going to bring some very low snow levels across the area. So it's going to be very difficult travel back here from Sacramento to I-80 as you go through Reno and Lubbock and out towards Winnemucca there, for example. Now, if we take a look at the European, this is last night's run, the most recent. And you can see the precipitation starting as we go through this evening. It starts to become heavy as we go towards midnight for the Bay Area. And this low really gets ramped up here as we go through tonight. The infrared satellite imagery is going to start to really highlight the monster developing off the coastline. And then you can see the rain just continue across the coastal areas. And by the time we get towards Sunday, late morning, afternoon, it's just going to be absolutely bombarding Santa Barbara and Ventura counties. Slow moving torrential rainfall. Then it starts to approach the Los Angeles metro. And still, I mean, you notice it weakening somewhat, but it's still producing just extreme amounts of rainfall, and kind of worry about it hanging up a little bit here across some of the Los Angeles and the San Diego metro. And then we keep some of the cyclonic action going all the way on in through Tuesday, and it could even still be moderate to heavy at times. We really got to be careful here, not letting our guard down too early as we go on in through Monday, even on into Tuesday. And there's even a sneaky flood threat here across some of southern Nevada and Death Valley and some of the desert areas as well, as this slow moving system moves across the southwest USA. Looking at the heavy rain, strong winds, and mountain snow, this is again for Southern California, Los Angeles. They talk about the potential for significant widespread flooding, and again, the coastal valleys and the foothills and mountains, the huge amounts. And the big snow will be relegated to the higher terrain, but you can see all the impacts and actions. This is the time to take action now. I mean, there are even some evacuation warnings out there for portions of Santa Barbara County. I don't know if that's extended elsewhere, but check with your local authorities on that. Day one excessive rainfall outlook. This goes from all the way from this morning to Sunday morning here. They did introduce the slight for some of the central coast. Day two, the moderate goes all the way down through the Los Angeles metro, up the coastal areas here. And you can see the slight risk has been brought up the I-5 corridor as well. And now day three, we're looking at moderate. Los Angeles metro again down towards San Diego. This atmospheric river just continues its march down across Southern California as we go from Monday on in through Tuesday morning. And again, you can kind of see that marginal. It's come out across some of southern Nevada, maybe Lake Mead. Death Valley out there is actually under a flood watch as we speak as well. And then finally, day four. Actually, not finally. We have day 5 to look at also here in a minute. But yeah, you can see it does include the Los Angeles metro again as we keep some of that precip going all the way on in through the day Tuesday. And this includes portions of western Arizona as well. Day 5, still that marginal for portions of Arizona with the slow moving system coming across the area. Now the flood watch, check it out. The Las Vegas National Weather Service, Death Valley and the Owens Valley. This goes from about noon Sunday all the way on through 6 p.m. Monday. Roadway rock slides, heavy rain, roadway flooding. Turn around, don't drown. You guys know the drill, and you know how crazy it can get out in the desert when it starts to rain hard. High wind watch. This includes Owen Valley, and this again is the National Weather Service Las Vegas. Southerly gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Watch out if you're driving a big rig out there across the desert areas and any place across the state of California and Nevada, Arizona. Big winds incoming here. Winter storm warnings, eastern Sierra slopes and White Mountains above 6,000 feet and 1 to 3 feet of snow between 6 and 9,000 feet. Big wind gusts incoming. And take a look here. If you want to get some nice images of some snowfall on the peaks surrounding Death Valley as you go on in through the mid and later portion of the week, this is going to be a great one for you here because there can be a lot of snow on the peaks out there and some big wind gusts as well. So heads up, above 6,000 feet especially. And there's also a winter storm watch for Spring Mountain and Sheep Range above 6,000 feet Sunday night through Tuesday night. Now, taking a look here at the North American high-resolution model on the left, you can see the state of California is here, and I've got the high-resolution rapid refresh here on the right. So we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery simulated here on the HRR, and we're looking at the low-pressure center on the North American model. So you see the warm front here, and we start the precipitation as we go through tonight. It becomes heavy at times, and this is really going to pick up as we go through Sunday morning across some of Southern California. And look at this monster low-pressure center here. I mean, just a textbook mid-latitude cyclone right off the California coastline, 979 millibar low, power-packed pressure gradient, huge winds raking much of the state of California. As you can see, the slow mover just kind of creep up the coastline as we go through late Sunday night into very early Monday morning. Something I want to highlight here as well, as we go through the day Sunday, look at some of these convective bands. We have tornado potential with this storm as well, for anywhere from the Bay Area down towards the central coast, and that's going to continue to propagate down across Southern California as we go on in through Monday and Tuesday. I mean, look at some of these convective cells as we go into the overnight and early morning hours of Monday as well. As you can see, that low pressure system starting to finally fill here, but still a 981 millibar beast. Now, looking at the North American model versus the high resolution model on the right, we got the state of California right here. I just want to kind of give you an idea where the winds are coming. And as we go through tonight, you can really see it pick up on the coastal regions. We're going into tomorrow morning now. Now we're about noon right here, and you can see some of these winds just hammering Sacramento. The high resolution model rapid refresh is really showing some very damaging gusts. This would require a high wind warning. And still, these winds are very strong here as well on the North American model, which would probably also require a high wind warning for some of Sacramento. So don't be surprised if you see some of these upgrades coming, and you can see some of the strong winds moving up towards Eureka and maybe even Crescent City, depending on how this low tracks. But look at these wind speeds up the coastline here, and they may need to upgrade this here over the next few hours. We'll see if they do that today. Now, also on top of everything else, of course, we've got the very warm water off the coastline. We're spilling some very cold air back in here, which of course really increases the instability in the atmosphere. Let's just put it that way. And I want to show you the surface-based cape on the North American model. So you'll see it. And this atmospheric river actually has some of that cape with it as well. So it'll probably locally enhance some of these rainfall amounts into Southern California here. But look at some of the instability is coming into the coastal areas here as we go off in through Monday. And if I back up a little bit here, we're going to have a tornado threat with this activity right here on Sunday as well. So yeah, very interesting stuff. So much to talk about here. Let me update that because for some reason the 12Z North American model did not update. But yeah, if we scroll on in through Monday as well, you can see, again, there's going to be water spout potential, weak tornado potential, and a lot of instability in the atmosphere as we go through Monday and then eventually through Tuesday. And that's going to include more of Southern California on Tuesday. Now, looking at the high resolution rapid refresh, this is the onset of the precip as we go through the day today. And I was looking at the Doppler radar this morning. There's already some echoes right off the coastline here, but you can see it kind of is going to be building as we go through tonight. And then the heavy rain will be arriving, and you can see the atmospheric river just starting to come down the coastline here and move into Santa Barbara and Ventura County. And you can really see this low pressure center, this mid-latitude cyclone. And you can see some of these convective cells on Sunday. This definitely has a tornado threat from the Bay Area down towards the central coastline. Would not be shocked at all to see multiple reports of waterspouts or tornadoes with this system. As we go through Sunday evening, you can really see this plume of moisture moving across Southern California, kind of slow moving as we've been talking about here. We're now going on into Monday morning, and it looks like it's kind of hanging up here a bit more on the high resolution model there as well. And again, you can see the convective elements here back behind this frontal system, cold air rushing in, lots of wind shear and lots of instability out there. Not going to be surprised to see some of these waterspout and tornado reports as we go through Sunday, Monday, and eventually Tuesday down through Southern California. This is looking at significant tornado parameter on the high resolution model. We put this into motion here as we go through Sunday. You can clearly see it from the Bay Area down the central coastline here as well. This only goes out 48 hours, but you have to take my word for it. This is definitely going to show up again here as we go through Monday and Tuesday down the coast in central California. And also the Severe Prediction Center has picked up on this tornado threat. Look, this is for tomorrow, Sunday. Check it out. They got a 2% out for tornado potential. So yeah, and this may be extended further south as we go through the next few days. They've also got severe wind gusts possible here as well, with some of that convective activity mixing down to the surface, some of those stronger winds. Looking at day 3, again, just kind of showing you that thunderstorm potential is going to be moving down towards Southern California as well. And I saw this out there on Twitter. Evacuation warnings are in effect for areas of Santa Barbara County. So check with your local areas up and down the coastline. It doesn't matter where you are. It's just good to kind of check in to see what's going on. Yeah, because they are starting to mention some of these evacuation warnings. And with everything else, looking at the extended forecast here, there goes our system swinging through here. And I showed this a little bit last night in the live stream, but as we go through the mid portion of February, you can kind of see that El Nino-ish jet stream still hanging out here. So we may have another set of storms rolling in here as we go through the month of February. No promises right now, but just kind of an interesting signal. Often the extended does line up with our current El Nino conditions. So anyway, I'm going to do another video here probably today, this afternoon, and we're going to do a live stream tonight again and try to just get the word out, and we'll do some Q&A. We had over 1,100 people, I believe, in last night's live stream. So a pretty fun time in there. Hopefully you guys can join me for that. But I'm going to wrap this video up so I can get it out. Probably do another one this afternoon and then a live stream again tonight, because very dynamic situation unfolding, widespread high winds, big rain, huge mountain snows, big waves, and then you got that convective threat as well. And don't sleep on some of that flood risk across some of the desert areas out towards Las Vegas as well, and then even across portions of Arizona. You know, this is just not confined to the coastal areas of California necessarily. And some big winds coming for the valley areas with this monster low pressure center. This is going to be just the textbook low pressure. You're going to want to take a picture of it and put it on a picture frame and hang it on your wall here, because this is going to be one to remember. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to get this video out here. We'll do this again later this afternoon, and I will talk to you guys then.